Day 17. In times of darkness. I will wait on the Lord, who hides his face from the house of Jacob, and I will hope in him. Isaiah 8:17. Here we have a servant of God who is waiting on the Lord, not on behalf of himself, but on behalf of his people from whom God was hiding his face. This suggests to us that though our waiting on God may begin with our personal needs and with our desire for God to reveal himself to us, it must not stop there. We may be walking in the full light of God's countenance, yet God may be hiding his face from the people around us. We can remain content thinking that this is simply the just punishment of their sin or the consequence of their indifference. But we are called to be tender-hearted, to mourn their sad estate, and to wait on God for their behalf. The privilege of waiting on God brings great responsibility. Christ, when he entered God's presence and assumed the highest place of privilege and honor, became our intercessor. So we too, when we enter in and wait on God, must use our access on behalf of those less favored. I will wait on the Lord, who hides his face from the house of Jacob. Perhaps you worship with a certain congregation and do not find the spiritual life or joy that you desire either in the preaching or in the fellowship. You also belong to the larger denomination with its many congregations. But there you observe so much of error and worldliness, of reliance on human wisdom and culture, of trust in ordinances and observances, that you do not wonder that God hides his face. In many cases, there is little power for conversion or true edification. Then there are branches of Christian work to which you are connected: a Christian school, a gospel band, a youth ministry, a mission work, in which the absence of the Spirit's working indicates that God is hiding his face. You think you know the reason. There is too much trust in personnel and money. There's too much formality and self-indulgence. There is too little faith and prayer, too little love and humility, too little of the Spirit of the crucified Jesus. At times, you feel as if things are hopeless. Nothing will help. Do believe that God can help and will help. Adopt the spirit of the prophet as you receive his words and commit to waiting on God on behalf of his erring children. Instead of falling into judgment or condemnation, despondency or despair, accept your calling to wait on God. If others fail to do so, redouble your efforts. The deeper the darkness, the greater the need of appealing to the light. The greater the self-sufficiency around you, which doesn't realize that it is poor and wretched and blind, the more urgent the call is to those who see the evil and have access to him who alone can help. Remain at your post, waiting on God. Whenever you are tempted to complain or to sigh, say instead, I will wait on the Lord, who hides his face from the house of Jacob. There is a still larger circle, the Christian church throughout the world. Think of all the Orthodox, Catholic, and Protestant churches and the state of the millions that belong to them. There is much nominal professionalism and formality in the temple of God. Is that not abundant proof that God does hide his face? So what are those who see and mourn the sad state of the church supposed to do? The first thing to be done is this: I will wait on the Lord, who hides his face from the house of Jacob. Let us wait on God in humble confession of the sins of his people. Let us set aside time and wait on him in this exercise. Let us wait on God in tender, loving intercession for all saints, our beloved family, however wrong their lives or their teaching may appear. Let us wait on God in faith and expectation, until we sense that He is heard. Let us wait on God with the simple offering of ourselves to His purposes and the earnest prayer that He would revive His church. Let us wait on God as Isaiah urged, and give Him no rest till He makes Jerusalem a joy in the earth. Isaiah 62:7. Yes, let us turn to the Lord and wait patiently for Him who now hides His face from so many of His children. And let us say regarding the light of His countenance, which we long for all His people to see, I wait for the Lord, my soul waits, and in His word do I hope. My soul waits for the Lord more than those who watch for the morning. Yes, more than those who watch for the morning. My soul, wait only on God.